Hello, hello again. It's Ebony Phoenix. I'm back with you with a new podcast to drop, and this is called Divest Like a Black Man. And just to be honest, ladies, they're just a lot better at it. So maybe we should take some notes from them. Now, we've all known that black men marry and mate at a rate uh, like 3 times higher than black women do. In fact, uh, black men tend to intermarry or marry out uh, at a rate as the same or higher than other ethnic groups. And, there's been a lot of ink spilled as to why this is. But I'm just going to cut to the chase right here. We've read the books, we've seen the books, we've seen the interviews. Let's just be honest here. The Black Collective teaches hatred for the black woman's true image. It's just not appreciated. Your eyes, your nose, your lips, your skin tone, your hair, your figure, it's not appreciated in you. Now, those features are much appreciated on women who are non-black. Go figure. And there's actually, there's actually a reason for this too. So look at back at some of the greats here: Nina Simone, Aretha Franklin, Shirley Chisholm. Their phenotype is just not appreciated. Instead of uplifting black women, a black man's ability to have options is stressed by black men, the greater society, and the black collective. What's going on here? Well, I'm going to say, ladies, girls, you have options too. It's just that more black women than black men um, tend to not exercise their options. Black men exercise their options all the time. What's wrong with you? I mean, there's nothing wrong with black women. We're beautiful women in our own right, but be that as it may, um, black women tend to stay in their own ethnic group, and they try to mate and date within their own ethnic group, and we see what has happened. A lot of the eligible men intermarry. uh, Most eligible men marry later in life. For women, black women tend to marry later in life also, and that you can get that data from the Pew Research Center. You have options too, lady. You need to exercise them, because what has happened is black men see themselves as a great commodity. They are the prize in the black community when it's actually the other way around. And in other more normalized patriarchal cultures, the woman is the prize and not the man. But this gender imbalance of available marriageable men versus the available marriageable number of women is very skewed, and you have a lot of women, more women compared to men. That ratio is skewed, and even if you look at the all age groups, so in the black collective demographic, you just have a gender imbalance when it comes to marriageable age and in dating and in mating. Okay, the Black Collective even stresses that it is good for Black men to have these options or even prefer the options, as long as Black girls and women understand that this is a privilege held only for men. It's as if to say to these Black girls and women, yeah, you should know your place and stay behind, and in the chances for happiness and hope. And basically, I'm sorry, this is the double standard for me. I just can't. This is unfair and has always been unfair to Black women and girls. However, knowing this, Black women and black girls are socialized, groomed, and programmed to basically save themselves for a relationship with a black man. Now, black men, you don't own black men. Nobody owns black men. Black men can do what they want. Black men can marry and mate with whomever they wish. Well, so can black women. However, black women are pressured to stay within an extremely dysfunctional community that gives them nothing, not even a chance for relationship happiness. But it's okay for black men to look outside of the community to do so because the gender ratio is in their favor. Now, the gender ratio has been in their favor for a very long time, and I mean at least 3 decades. And there are plenty of reasons for this. And, yes, the incarceration rate, and a lot of it is black on black crime. Black men murder each other at a disproportionate rate when you compare it to other demographic groups. Murder is just a thing in the black collective. That killing people is just, a thing. It's something you do. And now the risk of homicide and being a victim of homicide is basically highest in in black women from ages 18 up to 35. Murder is a thing. Murder is a thing. You can, when I was growing up, you could be shot over a pair of sneakers or a starter jacket. I mean, this is just how little we value ourselves and each other. You can choose a person of a different ethnicity. That's okay, but you don't have to put down your counterparts in your own collective. Meaning, black women choose people of other ethnicities less often than black men, but black men always tend to say, well, I chose this type of woman because black women are this or black women are that, and they're not this and they're not that. And so that's to me, that's disingenuous. There are plenty of educated, capable, beautiful black women around for black men to choose from. A lot of them just choose not to. Maybe about, at the most 30% of black men ever get married, and of that 30%, there is a skew towards interracial marriages or being mated or dating a woman who is of a lighter skin hue, meaning she's a lighter brown or she's not brown at all. Okay? So I implore black women to realize their worth. And part of the programming in the black community is to have these black girls make sure they have no self-esteem. Make sure that they understand that the man is the prize and he's worth fighting over. I mean, it's ridiculously dumb and crazy. And there aren't very many men in the community or collective who are marriageable anyway. And a lot of them don't even want to get married. They want to hang out till their 40s, and then they're going to get somebody who is childbearing age, which is usually in her 20s or 30s. Okay? And let's just sum this up. Black people don't think that black women and girls deserve protection, love, and provision because they look like black people. I mean, make it make sense, right? But that's what it is. Black women look like black women or some variation of Negroid features. Black men drank the Kool-Aid. They drank the white supremacist Kool-Aid, and Negroid features are only appreciated in black men, and some Negroid traits are okay in non-black women. Just depends on which ones they are, and that's up to the man to decide what his preferences are. And they're preferences, okay? Let's just call it what it is. Here's the truth. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but beauty is also within the eye of the collective or the demographic group that you're in. And I just have to be honest, the Black collective does not value or find its own women and girls beautiful. Asian men find Asian women beautiful. It's natural for people to be attracted to folks who are within their own ethnic group. But the unnatural thing is happening is that Black men prefer women outside of their ethnic group. Now, we can all say, well, that's not all Black men. A good amount of them do. A good amount of them do. And there are some Black men who just really prefer a Black woman and nothing will do for them. Uh, and that's a very small percentage of Black men, though. Now, a lot of people like to throw out these statistics. Well, most of the married people, Black men, tend to marry mostly Black women. Yes, but that is when you look at the percentages overall in terms of who's getting married and to whom, that still leaves millions of Black women of childbearing age out of the dating and mating market. Now, there's a lot of things that are going on too. I mean, there are, Black women apparently are not good enough to marry for a lot of Black men. They will sleep with her. They will have sex with her. They'll have booty calls or whatever. But the woman they want on their arm, going down the aisle, and the woman they want on his arm is a non-Black woman or a woman who is adjacent to being non-Black. Very, very fair. It's unfair to many, many, many Black women who wish to be married. Now, some women don't want to be married, but they would like companionship, and that's fine too. But your ability to have companionship that is advantageous to you is not very high if you stay within the Black collective and you're a woman or a girl. I've seen TikTok videos where there are young Black boys saying, I'll smash the white girl, I'll put the Black girl in the trash. Your own image you're going to trash. There's something seriously wrong with that. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, Black woman and Black girl. You deserve better than that. You deserve a companion who is going to value you, okay? Who is going to value you for all that you are and not trying to change you into something that you're not. Okay, honey, if you did a little surgery here, surgery there, do a BBL. I mean, really, really. That is the most ridiculous thing. And I'm seeing a lot of Black men are not that handsome either, but that's their currency is not so much looks. So for women, beauty is a currency. And what is considered beautiful counts and matters in the mating and dating market. So unlike Black women, Black men are more concerned with their image. They're concerned with their image and not the image of Black women. Now, if they were smart, they would be concerned about their image as well as the image of Black women. But they're not smart. And basically, that the image of beauty that other men have for their women, because their women can easily meet that beauty standard, they've borrowed that instead of coming up with their own. Black women don't fit into that image. Black women don't make the cut. We're considered the least attractive by our own collective. What other people, what other people think, what other people in other demographics think, let them think what they want to think. But your collective of people should support you and be positive towards you and help you garner and develop a positive sense of self and a positive self-esteem. But having a positive self-esteem is contrary to what the Black collective wants. They want a young, beautiful girl to basically get used and abused and downtrodden by the man in her life. He may or may not marry her. Black women who are married to black men usually have a pretty damn hard time. And it's no secret that infidelity is rampant, and men see it as a rite of passage, a rite of manhood. That's not a rite of manhood. That is not a privilege. That is a matter of trust between you and your significant other. Let's not get it twisted. Now, I have to stop this and please, please, please go to this YouTube channel, Mahogany Pink. She did a wonderful, a wonderful two-part series on the false promise of Black love. And watch that. That'll give you a little more clarity about what we're dealing with. It's an uphill battle when a Black woman does not decide that she can go outside the community and mate and date there. She will have more choices, and she's less likely to get shot. So, you know, I'm just putting that out there. I said what I said. Instead of coming up with their own image of elegance, beauty, and success, Black men borrow the European one, which includes a pedestal for non-Black women only. And that's understandable. But instead of Black men making you a pedestal, they chose one that was already made, and you don't fit in it, you don't fit on it, and you don't fit beside it, honey. Understand this. And I think a lot of especially dark-skinned Black girls do. They understand it because they live with it. Have you ever heard the term, you're pretty for a dark girl? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. To me, it's the same as you're pretty for a Black girl. So who's the white supremacist there? Is it the Black man or the black man or the white man? If the white man comes up and says, you're pretty for a Black girl, I feel some kind of way about that. If a Black guy comes up to a woman and says, or me, and says, you're pretty for a dark girl, to me, it means the same thing. It's negative. It's a backhanded compliment. Therefore, a backhanded compliment is not a compliment. They can just keep moving on. Now, this European feminine pedestal of femininity makes sure that you do not have access to a social hierarchy that you can live in. Well, let's just be honest. I mean, Black women and girls have figured out that they can't live in the collective because the collective does not value them, doesn't value their beauty, doesn't value their contribution. And if anything, all of that is exploited and taken for advantage. They take advantage because of the gender imbalance of marriageable women to marriageable men. And yet again, Black men want to be the gatekeepers to your potential, while they do as they wish. In other words, they want you to stay in your place, stay on the sidelines, never get married, never have children if you want them, waiting for a Black man. I've seen so many Black women go to church and pray for that husband that is never coming. Okay, that is the stupidest, most asinine thing I've ever seen. Instead of going outside and getting in the sun and actually seeing what is out there for you and taking some chances. Don't take crazy chances now, because men are men. Okay, I don't care if they're black, blue, purple, whatever. And there are dusties in every group. But you have to feel good enough about yourself to know what you deserve and what you want, and be very upfront about that. Okay, and be very clear. If you're an early divester, please just get some therapy, find out, do that development that you never had a chance to do when you were growing up, and figure out what the hell you want and what the hell you need, and knowing that you deserve it. It's very difficult when you don't have the community uplifting your image, the way other communities uplift their women's image. Okay? Black men are the masters of divestment. I mean, they're good at it. What you need to do, if you're not sure about divesting, that's okay. And if you decide to never divest, that's okay. But watch them. If you want a roadmap, I've seen them do it, and I've seen them do it very well. Yeah, black men are good at this. Watch them. They're getting their keys and they're getting out. You get your key and you get the fuck out too. Excuse my language. You get the hell out too. You don't have to stay where you're not wanted. Okay, this is what I've noticed with black men who have completely divested from the black collective. They start by excluding black women from their dating pool completely. They may settle for an accomplished black woman, but make no mistake, non-black women are considered the prize. He may put a ring on it. He may be faithful for a time, but don't get it twisted. The prize of the black collective is a non-black woman, not you. As far as black men go, their resources go to the non-black communities that they embed themselves in. You get it? They don't do the social justice warrior stuff. They don't, they just live. They just live. There's no guilt around their divestments either. Nobody is gaslighting them either. They consider themselves men first, not black men. And I'm sure you've seen some of this in the NFL, right? Usually they try to adopt the mannerisms, traditions, speech patterns, and political affiliations of their adopted community. They will do what it takes to stay ensconced in their adopted community. They don't march for you or anyone else. Think about that. Think about how many black women have gone out pounding the pavement for these guys, and they're not going to march for you. They don't care. They don't care. They're just living their lives. And you know what? I don't blame them. I don't blame the black man. The black man has decided. The black man who has divested has decided. I'm just living shit. Life is short. You should take that same attitude. They sacrifice anything associated with blackness or what blackness represents to them. Okay? Don't hang around shady friends from the hood. Don't hang around. If you're like a top-notch attorney, you're not going to go around playing with folks who skirt the law, are you? And they always rationalize away any guilt that they may feel. They're doing good. Watch them. Now, the longer they stay away from Blackistan, the less connected they feel to blackness anyway, or what blackness represented to them. They physically locate themselves into their adopted communities, gated communities, all white states, all white churches, da 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 da. They no longer consider themselves black first, or a representation of blackness even. Bryant Gumbel, anybody? Greg Gumbel? Look that up. And here's the kicker. They can always re-enter black society or the black collective at will, whereas you, black woman, black girl, would be considered lost to the community forever. And if you do divest and you try to come back, you're going to pay for it. They're going to take it out of your hide, sweetie. Remember that. Well, so now what? You cannot and should not try to fix a collective that doesn't want to be fixed. Go back to my Uncle Ruckus Revisited podcast, and then you'll understand why. The whole community is hell-bent on keeping up its present dysfunction, all the while blaming the dominant society, aka white people, for their troubles. I'm not saying that racism is not part of it, but racism is not all of it. Racism didn't force R. Kelly to do what he did to those girls, or any man to do what he did to his stepdaughter or whomever, or cousin, sister, whatever, stepsister. White people aren't around trying to make them do that. They decide to do that on their own. Those are decisions that they make. If you decide not to be a father to your child, that's a decision that you make. It has nothing to do with white people. It has nothing to do with white people. If you decide to kill another black man, that's a decision that you make. And while you do that, there's collateral damage. There are children left behind. There's loved ones left behind, but you didn't care. You had to kill yourself another black man, and you didn't care. It's like flipping a freaking coin to you. That means that you hate yourself and your entire black collective. You hate it. You can't love yourself and want to destroy the image of yourself, whether it be male or female. You hate the black woman's image and you hate the black man's image. Makes no sense. You have no love for yourself if you are going to be a predator in your own community, and you guys have become the apex predators in black communities. Who's doing the shooting? Oh, are those white cops coming into your neighborhood shooting up the place? No, that's you, Bobo. Okay, that's you. Those are black men and boys doing this mess. They have gone buck wild. They don't like authority. They don't feel like they are accountable for anything. And you know what? The black collective does not hold them accountable for anything. And when they go in the dominant community and they start messing up their community, it is going to stop very quickly. So young black women and girls, divest while you still can. Don't go down with the ship. You know, on the Titanic, most of the women and the children got out. They got into the lifeboats first because the men stood aside, understanding how precious these women and children were. Do you think the black collective, that Titanic, is going to help you? No. It's not going to give you a lifeboat. It's just going to tell you to die like the rest of us. Go down with the ship. You can be collateral damage at a birthday party, for goodness sake. You could get killed at a picnic. You get killed at the gas station. Really? Really? That's what you want to protect? There's nothing to protect there. And guess what, sweetheart? I can guarantee that they are not about protecting you. Don't see your image in the black man, because he does not see his image in you. He wants something else. So black men are the old pros at this, and they've been divesting prior to the transatlantic slave trade. Don't get it twisted. You're getting the goods. You know now. They're pros at this. Michael Jordan divested. Kobe Bryant divested. Need I say more? There are plenty of more men who've done that. Black men who look very, very black. Okay? So you take your little pretty brown butt where you are celebrated and where you can be motivated, okay, to be happy. Now, don't feel guilty about divesting, because basically they don't. So what's your problem? You know, a lot of black women say, well, we're responsible for the uplift of the community. Okay, there's a saying that says, you know, a Native American and a Sikh saying, that women hold up half the sky. If the men abdicate, and in the black collective, the black community, the men have abdicated, what happens? The woman is holding up her half of the sky, and the other half of the sky has fallen. Black women and girls, you can't do it all. You can't save a community where the men have just decided to divest anyway. I will say that again. You cannot save a community in which the men have decided that they're going to divest anyway. Or check out. Mentally and emotionally check out. And do whatever they feel like doing. Federal and state prisons, jails, county jails, they need people. Here you go. That's what I'm talking about. You don't have to be there with them. Here's the kicker. The average ordinary black male is not socialized to be spouses and fathers. Let's just keep it real. Let's keep it 100. They are not. They fashion themselves, when they're young men, fashion themselves as players, you know. And you know what happened with that mentality? They end up with babies all over town. And to be honest, let's say they go to these other women, and a lot of them do. They act the same way with those other women. So it's, what are you saving? What are you saving yourself up for? Comparatively, divested women in the Black collective are happier, safer, and healthier. So rebuild your identity as an individual woman. Stop bonding over victimhood. The world doesn't hate you as you've been led to believe. They may hate what the Black collective represents to them, but when a lot of people get to know you as a person, that's when the magic happens. That's when, yeah, some of them may still hate you, but a lot of them won't. Think better of yourself. Self-hate belongs in the dark, not the light, sweetheart. And you are going towards the light. You deserve the light. They want you in the darkness. They want you behind, stay in the darkness while black men walk up to the light, whether they deserve it or not. If you deserve the light, and you do, go up there just like they. Go up there. Let the sun shine on your pretty little face anyway. Okay? Black men are not prettier than you, okay? No man's prettier, okay? You are the feminine energy. And if they hate the feminine image, the feminine image in their collective, then there's something wrong with them, right? Do you want to be in a community that just needs you, or in one that feeds you? Let me explain. The Black collective needs you. They need you to march and advocate and put money in the coffers, and they need you to this and to go back to the community and save it. No, that's going to take everything out of you, because the black men are not doing the same. Or you could be in a dominant community, and that feeds you. That's where your job comes from. That's where your income comes from. Is it coming from the Black collective? Nope. If anything, they want to jip you down to paying nothing for any service that you have, or paying less. Oh, I'm black. Let me pay less. No. Think about it. Are you going to be in a community that needs you, or in one that feeds you? Feeds you money, feeds your soul, give you peace, where you can walk down the street and the police actually are responding. Come on, black girl and black lady. You deserve some peace. So, what I want to get to here is that divestment is more than just dating and mating other people outside the collective, outside the black community. It's a lifestyle of you. It puts you at the center. It's putting yourself first, your happiness, health, safety, your purse, your bag, and your peace of mind first and foremost. That's what divestment is. If the Blackistan just goes down in flames, then let it. You get off the Titanic, baby girl. You deserve better. I don't care what age you are. A lot of the people in the Blackistani circles are like, well, you're no good after you're 24 if you're not married. Oh, if you have a child, you're not good. Your value goes down. See, they keep degrading your value because they know they have none. None. And it's usually these broke people who are saying these things. They have no value as men, so they have to cut you down to size. And many black women are letting them do it. Don't call into those stupid ass shows. Those guys are just there to hurt you in favor of their ego. They're not worthy of you, and they're not worthy of your dime. They're not worthy of your time, black princess, black queen. They're not worthy of you. Leave. Leave. Now, a lot of people say, well, I have a black son and I have black children and I can't divest. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I just said it. Bullshit. I like the music and I can't divest. That's bullshit. White people listening to hip hop all day. Are they invested in the black community? No. I can't leave black culture because this and that. Those are excuses. You can enjoy things about your upbringing and about the black community, but hell, you don't have to go in the black community and suffer needlessly. I said what I said. Bottom line, they are killing you, ladies and girls. And I want you to live. And I want you to live with abundance. That's all Aunt Ebony has for now. Love, peace, and light to you. See you next time.